Hi. So guys, um today this vlog is gonna mark my very first ever vlog to make. And I'm here purposely to register my discoveries. Rather, I don't know. A few days ago, a friend of mine, a friend of my a very long friend of mine who had traveled abroad, he just came back to Nairobi and he hit me up and he said, "Yo, it's been a long time and I'm here now. How about we catch up?" And I said, "Of course, why not?" So one afternoon, we went to a very luxurious restaurant in the city. Yeah, just to get some coffee and do some catching up and, reminisce about our past life. So it happens that when we go to the restaurant, uh, a duo came. And when I say duo, I mean a lady and a guy came. They looked very posh and very clean up. It's obvious that they were people who had made it in life. So it happens they came and sat right next to us, and we didn't care about anything because after all, it's a restaurant and everybody else can occupy whichever table they care to occupy, isn't it? So me and my friend we had ordered coffee. We were just sipping, chatting up. And these guys, well, after sitting on the table next to our table, they also had to order. So the waitress, is it a waiter or waitress? A lady who's an attendant, came and asked if she could take their orders. And they said, okay, maybe we could get a menu. And the lady offered a menu, yeah? So after offering the menu, they went through the menu. I think the guy in mind, he knew they had actually come to maybe get a drink or do some catching up and something like that. Maybe I don't know, but the guy said, "Okay, I will have. I'll just have some tea and some snacks maybe." And the lady said, "Okay, I'll have chips and kuku and soda." But remember, that was a date, as according to what I had to actually presume. That was a date, it was a serious date, and the lady probably wanted to, capitalize on it and make very good use of it, and so yeah, they ordered. After ordering, that was supposed to be a starter, as they say in the Western world. That's a starter. But that was a starter. For other people, that could be a main meal. If you ordering chips and chicken and soda as a starter, really, you could have ordered something like fresh juice or some ice cream or something. I don't know. I don't know about those things. I'm just saying. But the point here is, the order was, it didn't look like a starter's order. So the guy said, okay, you eat that, but now I'm canceling. I'm just taking only coffee. I'm taking plain coffee. That's the starter for me. So they took that. And a few minutes later, like 15 minutes later, the attendant came back and asked, now, what is the main meal? Well, the main meal. So the guy said, okay, we are almost finishing up, so I don't think there's gonna be a main meal. But the lady said, no, I'm hungry. And I could hear from a distance, I could hear them arguing. Gentleman saying, "No, I thought you just had chips and chicken and soda. What do you mean you're hungry?" And the lady was like, "I'm hungry. I came here. I didn't even eat last night, and you brought me here. The whole day I've been waiting for this moment so that we can go out and eat." And I could just see the gentleman staring. In fact, at some point, I had to kind of, I asked my friend, I'm like, there is going to be trouble in the next table because there seems to be two different agendas. It's obvious that the gentleman was against what the lady was up to, so he was trying as much to make her see sense that this was just going to be a simple date and not an eatery. Well, okay. The lady ordered. She ordered another chicken and ugali. That is, ugali in Kenya is main meal and it's heavy food. Ugali and it doesn't come just like that. At times you could do with soda or you could do with juice. I don't know. So, but now the problem is with these big restaurants in Nairobi, you cannot just order and they execute the order immediately. You have to order and then the restaurant attendant takes the order to the chef. Now the chef will take about 45 to 60 minutes to prepare the meal. And it's obvious. It's obvious the gentleman was bored because maybe he had plans, he had business plans to go attend to, maybe he had other things to do. Now the lady is taking it so long. Um, the gentleman received a call and he left. After receiving the call and left the table, we could hear the lady calling. I think it was one of our friends, either friend or sister, and said, "Me, I'm here. I want to eat very well. This guy, see, he's the one who brought me here. I want to eat. Nataka nione pesa zake kama ako na pesa." And mind you, the guy had a car key at hand. I think that car key was, it's not a Bentley. Yeah, most assuredly, it was a Bentley. He had a car key at hand. And the lady's like, she wants to see if the guy has money to spoil her. Look at that. It sounded, it was not really our business, to look into all that. But for me, it just sounded very awkward because to an extent, somebody is offering to take you out on a date, in a posh restaurant, and you, in the back of your mind, you still want to see how much money they actually have. They took you to a five-star restaurant for starters. That should tell you that these people, they have money, or this guy has money. So after the guy made a call, he came back to the table. They had a longer conversation, and about 50 minutes later, now the waiter brought the food. That was the main course. Ugali, chicken, and that chicken is usually spicy. It's been stuck with some salad and stuff like that. And then the waiter asked, "Oh, what are you gonna use? Are you gonna use water? Or are you gonna use some soda again?" She said, "I would do some soda again." So the waiter brought soda. She ate ugali and chicken to finish. And the guy was just there doing some phone texting and calling. It's like he was actually managing a business somewhere, if I'm not very wrong. After the main course now, the lady has had two meals. That's what I would assume if I were you, or if you were me, you would assume she had two meals because at first she had chips and chicken and soda, and now she has had kuku and chicken and soda again. You know, ugali is the main course. That is for your information. Those of you who don't know what is the main course, what is the main meal in Kenya? It's mostly ugali. For those people from Western and Rift Valley and Nyanza, maybe some people from the central and the far coastal region may not be too much acquainted with that, but I know they know. So they ate after finishing. Now the guy's like, "So we should leave." And the girl says again, "Yeah, but I've not eaten ice cream." So you know what happened? The moment she said she has not eaten ice cream, I could hear the guy. He literally banged the table and said, "Kwani, how much do you want to eat? How much do you want to eat?" Mind you, A small 300 ml soda in that restaurant was going at 350 shillings. And Shazad too. And initially she had had chips and chicken. That was around 1500. And now she had had again ugali and chicken and soda. That could come up to around. That was a lot, man. It was supposed to be a simple date of getting a drink, not going to. It took hunger of 3 days. It took to a simple date. The guy left, and the guy called the waiter and told them, I'm paying, but if she requests for ice cream, that is on her bill. The guy paid and left. I think that was supposed to be the end of that day. And I don't ever imagine that that date ever repeated itself, or it would ever repeat in future, because that guy was surely done with that. Now, he left the lady. The lady got mad. She started shouting in the restaurant, wreaking havoc, literally, drawing attention and making the guy look bad. Imagine, even after the guy settling a bill of the first and second meals, she still got angry because the guy did not pay for ice cream. Just he simply got bored and left. Man, uh, that was a bad experience. And to me, I didn't. I'll never forget it. What do you think? What do you think? Could the guy did the guy do wrong to have left the restaurant? Tell us. Give me your comments down there. Hmm? Now, if you are the guy, would you have paid the ice cream too? Yeah.